Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pampered Chef Live, our weekly live cooking demo. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Michael, and I'm your moderator tonight, and I am so happy to be here with all of you. I hope you're happy to be here too. However you're feeling tonight, we're so glad you're here. And where are you coming from tonight? Where's home for you? Where are you posting from? Post in the chat. Let us know. And while you're there, drop an emoji if your consultant invited you tonight. That's always fun. Bonus information for us. We love to see that. During the next 35, 45 minutes or so, we'll be joining Lynn from her home kitchen as she teaches us how to make a Kentucky hot brown sandwich. If you've never had this is a famous hot turkey sandwich from the South. Tangy and a tangy appetizer, perfect for Derby Day or any occasion. So whether or not you like the Kentucky Derby, there's some really tasty food ahead. So stick around for that. After the demo, we'll be selecting 3 attendees for giveaways. And if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to register for the event right now through the Zoom link in the description on Facebook of this post so that you can be eligible for tonight's drawing. And we will have some Q&A time with Lynn about the recipe, the products she used. We'll have that after the demo. We'll hear a little bit about her experience as a consultant as well. So if you have a question that you would like us or Lynn to answer, please drop it in the Q&A feature here in Zoom. That's different from our normal chat feed. And we'll be responding to as many questions as we can during the event. We'll save some for Lynn as well. So we'll do our best to get through as many questions as we can. A couple other housekeeping notes for you to be aware of that will help you have a good experience. There's going to be a recipe handout and a listing of all the products that were shown in a handout that will come to you in your email about an hour after the event ends. So look for that. And that means don't worry, you can just kick back and relax right now. You don't have to worry about taking notes. And second of all, there's going to be a survey that comes on at the end of the event. This is really helpful for us as well. Give us your thoughts, give us your feedback. So when you see that survey come up, and if you need a little motivation, we'll be pulling an extra winner for another giveaway from the survey as we do every week. Lastly, if the Zoom chat is too busy for your liking and you just want to focus on what's happening on screen and not worry about all of the chatter, which can be a lot of fun, you can mute the chat. And if you're on a computer, you can click the little arrow next to the chat button at the bottom of your screen, then just click Stop Showing Chat Preview. If you're on a phone, open the chat, tap the little bell icon, and select Mute. And if you don't like all the emojis coming on screen, you can also mute those by selecting More on your phone and the 3 little dots and hit Hide Reactions. But I'm not hiding my reaction. I'm very excited, and I hope you are too. So let's get started, friends. I'm ready to hand over to Lynn. It's time to grab a beverage, relax, and let's get cooking. So take it away, Lynn.
Hey everybody, I'm Lynn, and as Michael said, I'm coming to you from my home kitchen right now. And you guys, I am so excited to be on here. I love watching these home kitchen lives and Pampered Chef lives because I love learning the new recipes myself. But I got asked to do this, and yes, of course I'm going to do it. So why am I with Pampered Chef? Well, first of all, I am in my 17th year right now with Pampered Chef, and I never thought I would be here this long. I was one of those ones who signed up kind of on a whim during a party and thought, well, I'll do a few parties, I'll make a little money, and I'll be on my way. Well, guess what? Here I am 17 years later, and I'm loving every minute of it. And people say, well, what was your reason for joining? I'm going to be perfectly honest and vulnerable with you guys. I needed a break from my kids. And that's why I joined Pampered Chef. I had a 2 and 4-year-old when I started. And to put that into perspective, that 2-year-old is going to graduate in about 3 weeks now. So obviously my kids have grown up with Pampered Chef. They've learned to cook with Pampered Chef, and it's done amazing things for me. I'll tell you more about that later. So I'm going to make 2 recipes for you guys tonight. And the first one I'm going to do, I can easily say I have made this Southern cooking recipe, because it includes pecans, over 100 times. This was one of the very first recipes that I made when I became a consultant 17 years ago. And I used to make it at all of my live parties because people loved it and they raved about it and they wanted to make it themselves. So you're going to get to learn how to make it tonight. And the name of it is a pepper pecan brie. Now, doesn't that just sound amazing just to begin with? Well, let's get started. We'll be off to the races. Did you get that pun there? Get the Kentucky Derby? Yeah? Okay. All right. All right, let's get going here. So first we're going to prep a few of the ingredients that go into this recipe, okay? And I am going to start with the main southern key ingredient here, which is pecans, okay? So this calls for only a quarter cup of pecans, but when you have them whole, a quarter of a cup isn't going to measure out just right because it's supposed to be a quarter of a cup chopped pecans. Now let me give you a little cost-saving tip right here. I went to the store yesterday to buy pecans. To buy the whole pecans, this bag here was about $3.90, okay? To buy the same pecans only chopped and an ounce less was going to be $6.99, okay? Buy your chopper and chop them yourself. Nobody needs to have chopped pecans ahead of time, right? Because watch how easy this is. Now this is our famous food chopper, you guys. This has been around since the very early days of Pampered Chef, which is in the early 1980s. Yes, we have been around for almost 45 years. This October, Pampered Chef is turning 45 years old. Doesn't that make you feel old at this moment? It sure makes me feel old this moment because that's when I was in high school, okay? All right, so let's get to chopping. This is the ultimate stress relief, ladies and gentlemen. If you come home from a hard day of work, get your chopper out. Okay, it's gonna be a little loud. You ready? Okay, we want them pretty fine for this, just like that, okay? And I always tell people, don't mush with this. You want to chop, don't mush, okay? Don't be a musher. Don't give it this, give it this. All right, now we have our pecans ready. That was quick and easy, right? All right, we're gonna use this again here in just a second. So let me get out my pepper here. And before I go any further, I'm gonna introduce you guys to our brand new Foundations knife set. You guys, this just came out this season and it is amazing. What's so cool about it? Well, it only has the 4 knives, and they are the 4 knives that you need in your kitchen. Really, the only 4 knives that you really need in your kitchen, right? So we have our chef's knife, sorry about that. We have our bread knife, which I'm going to show you in a minute. We have our utility knife, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And we have our paring knife, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, this foundation set, you guys, it has German forged steel, which the Germans are very well known for their high quality cutlery. And it has a full tang handle on it, which means the metal starts here and it goes all the way through the handle to the end. And of course, this has a lifetime warranty, okay? So what am I doing here? I'm starting on a jalapeno. Remember, this is a pepper pecan brie. Well, the pepper in this is a jalapeno, you guys. So, little tip about jalapenos. First of all, when you buy them, you want them to be nice and green and shiny. No black spots at all, okay? That means it's ripe and ready to go. And then, one of the ways to easily take the seeds out of the middle is just use a spoon. Just open it up and use a spoon. But let me tell you about one very important thing when you're using jalapenos. Do not, and I repeat, do not touch your eyes afterwards. I've done it too many times at too many shows. You don't want that to happen, okay? So, these are so sharp, you guys. I mean, it just cuts like butter, right? All right, so I'm gonna use that same food chopper. Yes, it's still got nuts on it, but you know what? This is all going in the same place, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put my peppers in there. Now I want these very fine. So I'm gonna chop these up a little bit more than the nuts. You ready? Okay, isn't that beautiful? Now, if you're not familiar with our chopper, let me show you something here. Every time you push it, it turns. Can you see that? Okay, that's why we can get such a fine chop on these things, you guys. That is just totally amazing, is it not? All right, let's go back to this Foundations cookware or knife set for just a second, please. So this is the block itself. Beautiful acacia wood. Now, what you're gonna, acacia? Yes, acacia wood. My helper, Rachel, is here. I'll introduce her in a minute. Acacia wood, and everybody's is gonna look different, okay? Yours may not look the exact same as this because they all have an individual grain. Now, what's so cool about this is that it's a small set, 4 knives, and you can have it standing up as such, or look at this. You can fold this over like this, put your knives back in, and guess what? This will go right in your drawer. Talk about a space saver. If you live in a smaller space or you have less counter space, this is the perfect product. You guys, this is great for new homeowners. young couples, first-time kitchens, or just if you don't need all those knives around, this is the way to go, okay? I'm gonna move this out of our way because we're gonna be using all of these knives in this recipe, okay? So I'm gonna bring over the ever popular batter bowl. Give a shout out if you love batter bowls. You know they come with lids. If you don't know that, I'm telling you that right now. They come with a lid and they're transportable. This is the smaller of the batter bowls here. And I'm going to put in all of the nuts and all of the jalapenos. Sorry, I just lied to you. I'm gonna save some of the nuts for a topping, all right? So I'm gonna put that aside right now. All right, so we've got our nuts and our jalapeno in here. Next, we need apricot preserves, okay? So I'm going to tell you, when I go to the store now, there used to be one that was called apricot preserve. Now it seems to be called apricot fruit spread. That's fine, as long as you're not buying jelly, okay? You don't want jelly because it melts too fast and it runs all over the place, so make sure you're getting preserves. Now, apricot is a little bit harder to find. You can substitute orange marmalade in this. You could get a fig preserve if you wanted to. There's several different flavors you could use in this. Use what you have in your cabinet. That's what I would do. Okay, so this is our measure-all cup. If you're not familiar with it, you can do solids on one side and liquids on the other side, and it's perfect for gooey things such as this, okay? So I filled this up to 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna turn it over, push it in, and scrape it off, okay? Easy peasy. Now look at how fast this recipe is going. You guys, we've already got the filling and topping ready right here in our batter bowl, okay? So let's jump to the next step, which would be our Brie. Okay, so let's talk about Brie for a minute. Brie is a wonderful cheese to have on hand, and here's why. Did you know that Brie can stay in your refrigerator for up to a month when it's still in its packaging? Of course, I've opened it here now, but if it's still in its packaging, a month, you guys, this is the perfect thing to have on hand because you can fill this with lots of different things, dried fruits, different types of preserves, chutneys, anything like that. So this is a great, great cheese to have on hand. Now, who loves our stoneware? Who's a stoneware fan out there? I want to see all the hearts flying right now because I know you guys are. So do you see the color of my stone here? Who has a stone this color? If your stone is not this color, you do not love your stone enough and you do not use it enough. So you need to get on it and start making it brown and beautiful, okay? The darker it is, the better it is. The better it cooks. It becomes more non-stick as it goes along. And speaking of products that have been around for a long time, the stone, the original stone, was the first product that Doris Christopher introduced 45 years ago. You know what she cooked on it at her very first party? A frozen pizza. Yep, that's what started Pampered Chef. If you didn't know that, that's a little fact you need to know. Okay, so we're gonna take our Brie, our wheel of Brie here, okay? And I'm gonna use my utility knife here. And I'm just gonna give it a horizontal cut all the way through. All right, there we go. Brie can get a little sticky. By the way, oh, another tip, and I'm gonna come back to this later. All cheese cuts and grates better cold, okay? So leave your cheese in the fridge until you're ready to use it. It just works better. And you can also freeze cheese. Did you guys know that? There's another cost-saving tip for you. If your recipe calls for 4 ounces of cheese, like our next one does, and you buy a block of 8 ounces, freeze the other half if you don't have a use for it right away. You can freeze it, you can even freeze it grated, okay? So now we have 2 pieces of Brie. We're gonna put one down with its skin side down, just like this. And then we're gonna put most of our topping on here, not all of it. Look at how pretty that is, you guys. And around the holidays even, this is a year-round thing here, guys. Around the holidays, you can get that green in there. You could use a cranberry preserve or an apple cranberry preserve of some type. Make it look very festive and holiday-like. Okay, pay attention, this is important, okay? When you put the other piece of Brie on it, put the gooey side up, okay? Don't put the gooey side down because that's gonna help it melt and look beautiful and be easy to serve later on, okay? So let's go ahead and put the rest of our topping on here. See how easy this is? It all sticks together, you guys. This is our mini measure-all, by the way, if you're interested in that little tool right there. We have measure-alls in many different sizes. Give a shout out if you have a measure-all at home.
Mix and scrape.
Oh, and I'm calling it the wrong thing. Mix and scrape. Come on over here, Rachel. I have to introduce my helper here. See, nobody should do this alone. This is Rachel. She's on my team, and she's my friend, and she's helping me when I get the words wrong. Because that's what we do. We're pampered, not perfect, okay? All right, so these reserved nuts that I had right here, I'm going to put those right on top. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is this, you guys? Okay, I'm going to get all of that stuff out of the way. And then I'm going to show you. We're going to do the whole kit and caboodle serving here, okay? So this is the bread knife from our foundations, all right? Beautiful knife again, very, very sharp. And we're going to cut what they call on the bias, which basically just means a little crisscross, not straight across. This beautiful French baguette that I have here, and I already did about half of it. You guys, look at this slice through here. Now this is pretty crusty bread. Can you see this okay? Are we doing okay here? Okay. And this is pretty crusty bread, and I'm just blazing through it with this super sharp knife. All right, I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna take the ones that I already cut, and check this out, guys. We are just gonna put this around the cheese here. Okay, we're gonna cook this all together. By the way, I have preheated my oven to 425. That's what we're going to heat this at, all right? And we're gonna put a little bit of a brush of olive oil, or sorry, not olive, yes, I just take that back. No, vegetable oil. This one takes vegetable oil, but you can use olive oil too. Whatever you prefer, it doesn't really matter on this recipe. You just wanna put a little bit on there to make them get a little bit brown and crusty. Okay, so here is my vegetable oil. And this is our silicone basting brush, you guys. I used to call this the man's favorite tool, but we've come out with a lot more since then that men really love because there's so many men in the kitchen these days. Give a shout out if your man is the primary cook in your family. I know there's some of you out there. Okay, and while I'm doing this brushing, I want to ask you something else. Is there anybody out there that is actually going to the Kentucky Derby on May 3rd? Anybody? How about anybody who's just from Kentucky and knows a heck of a lot more about this than I do? Because I'm not from Kentucky. Anybody? Let us know in the chat if you are. Okay, quick brush. It doesn't take much on this. Now this is going to go into our oven for approximately 8 to 10 minutes. And you'll know it's done when the topping starts to drip down the side. Okay, that's your indicator that it is done. All right, here we go. All right, all ready to go. I'm gonna pop this in the oven and we're gonna move on to recipe number 2. Doesn't that look gorgeous, you guys? Even before it's cooked? Look at that. Okay, here it goes. All right, I'm gonna set my timer. I'm gonna go for 8 minutes, but now I'm gonna go for 9 minutes, just to be safe here. All right, so we're gonna move all this over. And then we're going to move on to recipe number 2. Okay, so let's talk about this recipe because this is a little more authentic Kentucky Derby. These sandwiches that we're going to make are called Kentucky Hot Browns. Have you ever heard of them? Tell us in the comments if you've heard of them before. I was never introduced to these until I did a Kentucky Derby party a few years back, and I got introduced to them and I was like, wow, those rock. So then when they started talking about Derby season and wanting to do a theme on Pampered Chef Live for Derby season, they gave a shout out and I said, oh yeah, Pampered Chef has a hot brown recipe. Let's do it. And so we are. So there's 2 kinds of cheeses that go into this, and I'm going to do some prep work here first, then I'm going to flip you over to the stove. So Kentucky Hot Browns were introduced in 1926 in Louisville, Kentucky, and they were designed at the Brown Hotel as an after dance party treat, basically. So the people who went to the dances back in the day and were hungry afterwards, you know, you get the munchies after all that dancing and drinking, they would serve these Kentucky hot browns at the Brown Hotel. And that's where they got their name, and that's where they started out, and now they are a staple at the Kentucky Derby. They sell thousands of these at the Kentucky Derby, okay? So there's two kinds of cheeses that go into this. The first is the white cheddar. Now remember when I told you earlier about saving the extra cheese? So this doesn't take the full bar of cheese, and white cheddar is more expensive than regular cheddar. So I froze the other piece that I cut off already until I come to a recipe that I need it in, okay? So have you seen our double-sided grater? I'm gonna give you a close-up look at this. This is one side, and this is the extra fine side, okay? This is more like zesting on this side, or for very hard cheeses like Parmesan. Then check out this side, you guys. You won't find this in very many places. This is the extra large grate, okay? Who has been to the grocery store lately and seen the new packages of grated cheese that say extra large grate on them, huh? Okay, I've come to love it because it's great on salads and potatoes and you know, sandwiches and stuff like that. It's not quite so fine like taco cheese where it falls off everywhere. It's this bigger grate, and that's what we're going to use for this recipe. So you can see we have a food handler here to protect our fingers. And again, I tried to leave this cheese in the refrigerator as long as possible because cold cheese grates better than warm or hot cheese, obviously. Now look at that, you guys. It's powering through it. Okay, I'm going to put my other piece in now. Finish this off. And I will tell you, every time you grate cheese, you're going to end up with a little bit at the end that doesn't grate. That is your reward, okay? That is your snack. Don't try to grate it up. Just eat it and enjoy it, okay? See, there it is. It's peeking out the top here. Look, I'm not going to eat it right now because I'm talking, but look, that's my snack. I'm going to save that for later. Okay, so the double-sided grater, dishwasher safe, and check this out. It comes apart, you guys. So you can put this over a bowl or over a pan or a pot, and you can grate directly into it. You can do the fine size, or you can do this extra large that we just did. Isn't that a fun tool, you guys? I just love that. Okay, so there is our white cheddar. Now I'm going to do our second kind of cheese, and it's our Parmesan. Now, if you have been watching Pampered Chef Live the past few weeks, you may have already seen this tool, but I'm going to talk about it again because you guys, this is on sale right now. You have approximately 28 hours left for this to be on sale. No matter where you are in the US, there's about 28 hours left for you to get this tool on sale, and I'm going to show you why you want it, okay? So you can see on the top, see the little graters? They go every direction, and they're very, very sharp, okay? And then there's a little tool right here that holds on to whatever it is that you're grating, whether it's garlic or nutmeg or cheese or whatever, and you put it on there, you stab down with it to hold on to it, and then you just grate. And you can go in circles, you can go any direction you want. Can we see this okay here? Okay, you seeing okay? All right, we can grate, and it's almost gone, and I'm gonna start on the second piece. Okay, now, while I'm doing this, I wanna tell you about probably my biggest cost-saving hack I wanna tell you about tonight, you guys. Parmesan cheese. It's expensive, you guys, and so many recipes call for it. I'm gonna cut that a little bit smaller before I grate it. Okay, so I learned something a while back that the guy at the deli actually taught me, because I went up to him and I said, you know, I only need an ounce of cheese for this recipe, which is actually what this one calls for also. And he said, don't buy the wedge of Parmesan cheese. It's too expensive. That's going to run you like, you know, $11, $12. He said, go and get the rinds. Have you seen this, you guys? These are the rinds of Parmesan cheese. And look how much I paid for it. $1.65. $1.65, you guys. And there's so much cheese left on these that I am using everything I need right there. And there are still, I can't get that open. There are still 2 additional pieces left in there. So look how much cheese is still left on those. Okay, I will tell you a tip. Cut the rest of the rind off that's on there and then do your grating, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. And then I want to show you what this tool does on the bottom. I think I already have more than an ounce. I think I'm way ahead of it, but I'm going to do a little extra because there's never enough cheese, ever, ever, ever. So I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, now I'm going to show you something cool about this tool. All right, first of all, I'm going to come closer. All right, there's a receptacle on the bottom here that's catching the cheese, right? All right, so watch this. I'm going to try to do this without spilling any of my cheese and show you also. Can you see there's a little arm that goes around behind there? You might not be able to see it because I've got too much cheese in there, but there's what's like a windshield wiper in there that scrapes it off the bottom of the grater for you and collects it in the tub in the bottom, okay? So is that not the coolest thing ever? All right, so when you are ready to use it, turn it over. I'm going to show you what's inside. Look at my grated Parmesan. You guys, isn't that beautiful? And then, if you want to store it, you put the bottom on, and there's a lid that goes on it too. And you can store this in your fridge. Actually, the top can come off. And you put this in your fridge and store it so you can prep ahead, okay? I love prepping ahead. I love making recipes really, really quickly. Okay, we're going to do a little switcheroo here. I'm going to try not to make you nauseous, but I'm going to turn the camera because we're going to come over here to my stove. All right, Rachel, do we have a good view? I think we do. I think we're okay. All right, so we are going to start on the Mornay sauce for this amazing hot brown, okay? Mornay sauce is basically cheese and butter and flour and deliciousness, okay? So we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter on a medium to high heat. We're going to melt that down, okay? And then we're going to make a roux. Do you guys know what a roux is? Roux is like the basis of all Cajun gravies, of homemade gravies. It's basically butter and flour. That's what it is, okay? And when you make like Cajun meals, you want to get your roux really dark and almost burnt, they call it, okay? We're not going to go quite that dark on this recipe. We're going to keep it a little lighter. So I am using my 2-quart signature non-stick pan. You guys, if you are looking for a line of, you can get it please, of saucepans and skillets and the whole line of cookware, check this out. Look at what can happen here. The handles come off. Is that not the coolest thing ever? And then they're easy to store because you can stack them together, and the handles are interchangeable. So you don't have to keep the right one with the right pan and all that malarkey. You can just pull out any handle and put it on your pot. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I've got my 2 tablespoons of butter almost melted, and then I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of flour. So I'm going to show you both of our measuring spoons, okay? This, I've already got it pre-measured, but this is one of the 2 tools. They're called adjustable measuring spoons, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. I'll go ahead and put that one in. So look, this goes all the way from 1 teaspoon up to 1 tablespoon. Check that out. And then there's another one that's all the teaspoon sizes that goes from 1/8 of a teaspoon all the way up to 1 teaspoon, okay? Give a shout out if you have the old white version of this, okay? The old white version. These have been around for a really long time. And then this is our other type of measuring spoon. This comes in a set of 6, and they nest together and they clip together, okay? So you can keep them all together and not lose them, all right? So that's a great set of measuring spoons also. Okay, now I'm going to use a really fun tool that you may or may not know. This is called, I'm going to try and let you see it here. This is called our whisk tongs. Okay, I'm going to be using it as a whisk. As you can see, it is. It's silicone, so it's not going to scratch my nonstick pan. But look at this. You move the little handle down, and they become tongs. And these tongs are great for things like fish. They're really good for turning fish, burgers, pork chops, basically anything you want to give a quick flip to and not be too strong on, because it's kind of a light grasp on things. So that's why it's so good for fish, because it doesn't break up. Okay, so I want you to see what's going on here. This goes fast, so I'm going to show you really fast, okay? So we have our roux forming here. As soon as it gets bubbly like that, all right, it's starting to brown just a tiny bit. You want to continuously stir when you're doing this, all right? So the next thing we're going to add is 1 cup of milk, okay? I'm going to put that in right here. Hold on one second. I want to get it just to where I want it. Okay, whoops. Yeah, Pampered, not perfect. I make a mess. What can I say? Okay, I'm going to put the milk in there, and I'm going to let that thicken for just a couple minutes here. I'm going to stop stirring for 1 second. So as soon as that thickens a little bit, we're going to add all of our white cheddar cheese, okay, and most of our Parmesan cheese. I'm going to keep just a little bit of it aside to sprinkle on the top at the end, okay? Believe it or not, we are in the home stretch with this recipe. This goes really fast. This is why it's such a great recipe to make at home. Now, one of the things about this recipe is that this can be considered a breakfast. It could be a brunch. It could be served at lunchtime. It could be a dinner, or it could be your late night snack after you have your dance at home, right? You have your dance party and then you have your late night snack just like they did years ago. This is a very versatile recipe is all that I can say. All right. Did you catch the home stretch comment, by the way? You know, we're all about the derby here. Is anybody catching this? Okay, this is thickening very quickly right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add my white cheddar. Oh, I'm going to keep my snack, though, for later after I get off camera here. My snack is going to stay there. Okay, so I got my white cheddar in there. Going to mix that in. This goes really fast. And then our Parmesan, I'm going to turn it over. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, there's also this measuring feature in here. So look, I don't know if you can see this or not, but look, see, it has measurement lines to tell you how much you've grated. And maybe now you can see that. Can you see that windshield wiper? No, you can't see it. Okay. Anyway, what a great tool. It does it all. It stores, it measures, it grates, it scrapes. It seriously does it all. All right, I'm going to keep just a little bit of that Parmesan to sprinkle on the top. And I'm going to turn this down. Okay.
It's called the cup zester.
Did I not say that? That's called the cup zester, you guys, and it's on sale. Reach out to your consultant tonight if you want that cup zester that is on sale. Okay, look, I want to show you. Look how thick this is already. The last thing I'm going to add to this is pepper, and this is our pepper grinder. It comes in a set. Whoops. Pepper, not perfect. It comes in a set with the salt and the holder right here, okay? Don't do it like I did it. But you know what I love about this recipe? It says pepper to taste. So in my house, that means pepper it to death, okay? I love pepper. So I have put a lot of pepper in there, and this is what you want it to look like. Can you see it? And then I'm going to take it off the heat, and we're going to let that sit for a minute. Okay. All right. So before I leave this side of the kitchen, I'm going to turn you right over here to our amazing new Deluxe Air Fryer, okay? Who has this on your wish list? Give a heart in the comments right now if this is on your wish list, okay? So it's a deluxe oven and air fryer, all right? Oh, lots of hearts. There's lots of people that want this. Okay, so the top portion here, think of this as like a toaster oven, okay? You want to do things up here like toast or pizza, or there's a braid recipe that comes in the guide with it that you get, which has some recipes to get you started. And you can set the top to one temperature. See, it says, let's get cooking. That's our theme. Okay, you hit top and you can choose toast, bagel, pizza, bake, stone bake, broil, and my very favorite, reheat. Okay, that's the one you want to use for those leftovers that you bring home that you want to be really crispy, because who likes leftover fries, for instance, or cheese sticks, and you throw them in the microwave and they turn to mush, right? No, you want them crispy. So you're going to put them in the top part of your deluxe oven and air fryer, okay? And you can see that the door opens on just the top. And I'm going to use our new oven mitts, you guys. Check these out. Yes, I look like a snowman in these. These are big mitts, as you can see. And here's the crowning glory of these. See this part right here? That's the burn zone, right? When you grab things, and it's reinforced there. You guys, these are awesome. And through the magic of television, I have already toasted our toast for our hot browns, okay? So I'm gonna put those over there and we're gonna assemble them in a minute. Now let me talk about the bottom, which is the air fryer, you guys. Everybody loves an air fryer. You may have our old air fryer, and it's a fabulous product too, but we had to modernize. We had to move up and add new features because that's what our customers wanted, right? Turn this a little bit more here. Okay, so the bottom is the air fryer, and your options down here are air fry, convection bake, roast, reheat, keep warm. I love that one. Put it in there when you're trying to get everything done at the same time. Dehydrate, that's when you make your jerkies or your fruit leather or anything like that. And then heat and crisp, okay? All of those options are in there. Now, you can see that it has its own door that opens too, right? So we said when one door closes, that was our old air fryer going away, 2 doors open. And I've got my bacon already cooked in here also for our hot browns, okay? So I'm gonna put that over there. We're gonna look at that in a minute. But here's what's really cool, you guys. If you don't open the individual doors and you pull on just the top, you pull on just the top one, they both open. So you can open both at the same time. Now, one other feature I have to tell you about with this is the sync function, S-Y-N-C, not S-I-N-K, S-Y-N-C, sync. You can sync the timing for whatever you're cooking in the top and the bottom so that it gets ready at the same time. I mean, is that ingenious or what? How many of us in our minds can figure out when to put something in the oven, when to put something in the microwave, when to put something under the broiler and have it all get done at the same time, right? Let it do it for you. There is a sync function on that. Yes, I'm seeing lots of hearts and love about that. You guys are gonna love that feature. Now, before I walk away from this, I am going to preheat for broil over here. Because in just a minute, whoo, I go too fast. In just a minute, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna broil those sandwiches, okay? So let's go over here really, really quickly and finish this recipe off. Is that good angle there? Okay, I'm gonna take off my oven gloves. Okay, there was another topping that I haven't done quite yet, but I wanted to show you guys, and that is we need tomatoes for this recipe, okay? Is it all coming together in your mind right now? Mornay sauce, toast, tomatoes, bacon, and there's another ingredient I'm going to tell you about in a second. Okay, you guys, this, I'm going to turn it around because I'm right-handed. This is our rapid prep mandolin. Have you seen this demoed before? It's been around more than one season. You guys, this is an amazing tool. It can slice, julienne, dice, or make French fries. And the French fries are so awesome. We're not doing those tonight because I don't need French fries tomatoes, but you can do all of that. You can see there are 2 dials. Let me hold on to all of this. There are 2 dials on the back that you can choose what you want to do, slice, julienne, or French fry. And then there's a thickness dial right beneath that that you can choose on any of those settings. So I've chosen the number 6 thickness for these. And you can see I did a few tomatoes ahead of time. Now what's really cool is they all come out the exact same thickness, you guys. So you know, when you cut manually, you can't always get them just right. These will come out just perfect. So I'm going to show you guys this. And you have a food pusher, again, to protect your fingers, right? So we're just going to go to town, and again, it's going to get noisy. This is another stress relief tool. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Woo! We had a few even fly out. This gets a little crazy sometimes. I think it all depends on your stress level, how far you can fling the food. I don't know, that's just my theory on this. So, we got our tomatoes done. All right, it's time for assembly, you guys. This is the fun part. Let me bring the Mornay sauce over. Hold on one second. All right. Okay, so the only ingredient you haven't seen yet is thick cut turkey. This is one of our storage bins, by the way. Thick cut turkey. Now, you can find this in the store in the section, I would say, where you would buy bacon and stuff, okay? And it looks like a solid piece of turkey, but it's already sliced, as you're gonna see, okay? But it's thick. You could go to the deli and ask them to cut it thick. That's your other option. But anytime they cut it in the deli, it's gonna get really expensive. Now, Another cost savings here, guys. If you're not going to use the whole thing, no problem. This freezes very, very nicely. Did you hear that beep? That means our broil is preheated and ready to go. And it's telling me to add the food. So let me hurry up. Okay, so here is the order that stuff is going to go on here. We're going to do a piece of turkey on each toasted bread. Okay. Oh, got one there, got one there. I just noticed that these are moon-shaped, which actually matches the toast, which is perfect. How do you like that? Okay, so turkey, and then our next thing is tomatoes, and it calls for 2 tomatoes each. If you have a tomato hater in your family, like I do, my son hates tomatoes, just leave them off. This recipe will be just as good without them. As a matter of fact, when I practiced it, I made it without tomatoes because he was my taste tester, and they came out just lovely. So you can leave off the tomatoes, but I love tomatoes, and Rachel likes, oh, Rachel doesn't like tomatoes. I'm gonna leave tomato off one because you know what? Rachel and I are gonna have dinner here when we're done. All right, I'm not putting tomatoes on that for Rachel. Okay, our next step is the Mornay sauce, okay? So we are gonna pour, can you guys see okay? Are we got a good view here? Okay, Mornay sauce, coat these little bad boys here. And give them a good, I don't know, 2 scoops or so. Now, you want to do this on a pan that has an edge. And the one that I'm using tonight is actually one of the 3 pieces that comes with the additional baking set you can purchase to go with an air fryer, okay? And you're going to want these, you guys. These are really, really great pans. Okay, Mornay, Mornay, Mornay. Now, this recipe is designed to make 6 pot browns, okay? But I can't fit 6 sandwiches on this tray. So we've got enough to make 2 more over here. Now here's the final step, and it's very important that you do it correctly, okay? Take your bacon, and you have to make a cross with it on the top. Why? I have no idea. But it said it was very important to this recipe that the bacon be put in a cross over the top. So that is what I'm doing. There we go. And if you like your bacon a little more, my son calls it soft bacon. He likes his bacon soft. I like it crispy. Do it any way you want it. We are going to put it under a broiler here. Ooh, I can't get that piece off. We cooked that one a little too far, but that's okay. All right. Put it in pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, these edges are, all right, there we go. Okay, little cross on that one. I might get in trouble from the people in Louisville, so don't tell on me, okay? All right, that is it, and then we're gonna put a tiny bit, that comes out, a tiny bit of Parmesan on top of these. Don't they look pretty, you guys? These are just gorgeous little sandwiches. Can you imagine being back in 1926 in your dress at the dance and coming off and eating one of these afterwards because you're starving to death? Okay, so we're gonna put these back into the toaster oven portion of the air fryer. I'm not going to turn you around for that, and it's only going to stay in there for 3 minutes, and I'm going to show you something else during those 3 minutes, okay? All right, put those in here. Broil, 3 minutes, and go. All right, so the last thing I want to show you guys tonight is another product that is currently on sale. Yep, another 28 hours, guys, that's it. 28 hours to get our quick stir pitchers. Now this is the smaller one. This is a 2-quart, okay? We also have a gallon size, which is called the family size pitcher, okay? You guys, these pitchers are so awesome. They've been around for a long time, so if you don't have one, this is the time to grab it because it's on sale. I'm gonna show it to you up close a little bit. So it has a plunger. Can you guys see that? So what would this be good for? Throw it in the comments what you would use your quick stir pitcher for. I'm going to use it tonight for some infused water. And I looked up recipes for infused water to see what the best flavors are. And one of the ones that it said was raspberries, mango, which both of those things I have in my house, and ginger. You guys look, this is ginger sliced very thin. Okay, ginger has great medicinal properties to it also. I'm not going to pretend like I know what they all are, but they are good for you. So we're going to put those in. Now, if you're going to infuse water, put the fruit on the bottom, Okay? Then put your plunger, put your plunger in like that. And then pour your water in. Why would we be doing this? Why would we be putting the fruit on the bottom? Any answers? Any insight? Nobody? Well, I can't see the comments, so maybe you're commenting and I can't see. All right, so we're gonna fill this up. Look how beautiful this looks. You can also put in basil, or there were recipes that called for cucumbers or strawberries or many, many, many other things, okay? But I'm gonna use these. Now, this plunger is gonna help with the infusion. Can you see that? Just by pumping it very lightly, can you see that it's getting all those yummy flavors up there? Okay, this is gonna go in my fridge. Again, it's on sale in Canada and US. I forgot to shout out to our Canadian friends that are on here tonight. This is gonna go in the fridge, and it says to infuse for about 24 hours if you can. I don't know if I can wait that long, but you know, I'll do what I can. So I'm gonna put that over there. All right, if you could take those over here. All right, so let's first look at our appetizer recipe, you guys. Where's the server thing? Here it is. Okay. Okay, so this is our pepper pecan brie. Is this not beautiful? Check this out. See what I said about the stuff kind of sliding off the top? And look at how brown and beautiful those little toastettes got. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cut one and give it to Rachel so my mouth isn't full, because I gotta show you the, I still gotta show you the sandwiches, but Rachel will love to have one of these. All right, here we go, ready? All right, there you go, girl. Enjoy. I'm gonna get the sandwiches out.
Lynn, while you get that looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna do our giveaway real quick while you get those sandwiches ready, and we'll pull those out at the end, because we've got a lot of questions I want to make sure we still get to as well.
Okay.
So
All
everything
right.
looks absolutely incredible. Okay, yeah, there it is. Let's see. Got some some browning on there. Amazing. All right, so while you get that ready, let's do our giveaway. Friends, tonight we are giving away the oven gloves that Lynn showed us, and these are awesome because of that protection that they give you. So tonight, our lucky winners are Jaquita Good, Victoria Garofolo, and Joyce Francis. Congratulations, Jaquita, Victoria, and Joyce. I will be in touch with you after the event to get your shipping information. We'll get you a nice set of oven gloves, and you can just grab all the hot things you want. It's going to be awesome. Couple other things I want to tell you about. Lynn also mentioned this already. You have just a little bit of time left to take advantage of our April sale. Tomorrow's the last day of April. So talk to your consultant to learn more about these entertaining essentials that you can get at a discount. And like Lynn said, about 28 hours left or so to take advantage of these deals. Next, the last thing I want to say to you, if you liked that deluxe air fryer and oven, or if you like anything you saw tonight and you would like a really big discount on it, you can host a party in the month of May, and with qualifying party sales, you can get 60% off any one item of your choice. So if you want to take a hefty amount of price tag off that deluxe air fryer and oven and bring that home into your kitchen, host a party in May, and this is an awesome way to share with your friends and family and get a great discount for yourself as well. So everybody wins. Have some fun with that. All right, friends. So we've got a couple questions, and I just want to see how those hot browns look before I ask these questions real quick.
There you go. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
bring it up
goodness.
here to the screen here. Check this out, you guys.
That looks absolutely bonkers. I want that.
So I did
Um,
sprinkle it with a tiny bit of paprika, and I grated on a little bit of parsley with our herb grinder right here. So,
yeah, I would want like a little hot sauce on it too. But
oh, there you go.
yeah. Okay. Somebody wanted to know if do you have a drawer handy where you would be able to show when the foundation's block is in a drawer, what's it like to get the knives in and out? If you don't have a drawer that's like free for that right now, don't worry about it. But somebody wanted to see that.
Oh, wow. My drawers are really, really full because I am a Pampered chef and I get so much product. But let me see. Hold on. I'm going to go behind the screen here a minute. Pull my rack out. Put this one in. You're going to see what the drawer of a Pampered chef looks like. Okay. Besides all the crumbs underneath, try to ignore that. Okay. So can you see the drawer?
Amazing. You cleared that so quick.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so it would go in there, and you could pull your knives out just like this.
Nice. So you can kind of pull up and out as well.
Yep, up and out.
Amazing. Okay, thank you.
All
A
right.
couple other questions. What kind of bread did you use for these sandwiches?
I'm so glad you asked that because I made it differently when I practiced and when I did this one. So I went for a little higher quality bread this time. It was called a Bistro Classic White, and it's
Mm.
this shape, okay? Before I did a typical square toast, and they
Mm.
didn't look nearly this good.
Well, it
So
works better with the long bacon
yeah,
too.
yeah, if you're going for looks, definitely go for this shape of bread. And I think a rye would be good with this too, or anything else. Um,
Great.
so yeah,
Love it. Um, that stone that you showed us, the newer stoneware, are they still dishwasher safe?
the new stoneware is dishwasher safe. Yes, if it's called Fusion stoneware, and you'll know it's that because it's got like a wavy pattern on the bottom of it, and it is dishwasher safe. Although I'm going to give a personal opinion here. Don't ever put it in the dishwasher. That's just my personal opinion. The way we've been doing it for 45 years is hot water and the scraper that comes with it, and that's how you're going to get that beautiful browning on it. But if
Yeah,
you're needing to get everything off and you want to throw it in the dishwasher, it is dishwasher safe.
love it. Love it. Okay, almost done here. Someone says, how well do the tongs hold things without slipping out of?
That's a really good question too. So they do flex a little bit. I think I've already put those in the sink. They're buried somewhere. Anyway, they do flex a little bit, but they're still pretty strong. Like you can flip a good quarter-pound burger with it. I have flipped steaks with it. Again, they're gentle though because they do give. So, oh, thank you, Rachel. Just handed it to me. So if you wanted to flip fish or something dainty, it's very good for that also. I don't know if I can do these. I don't want to squish them.
It's
So,
yeah, they're too beautiful, but
yeah.
I believe you. Uh, last question about the recipe. How long did the bacon take to cook in the air fryer, and what setting did you use?
Yes, I used air fry and it took 12 minutes.
Okay, perfect. And it was the right amount of crispiness for you?
It was actually a little beyond the crispy we were going for, but it turned out just fine. Remember that on this recipe, it's going to crisp a little bit more when you put it back in to broil. So
Smart.
it's okay if it's a little soft before you put it on here, but ours was crisp before we started.
Amazing. Okay, so you've been a consultant for 17 years,
I have.
and across your time of doing this, besides income, besides earning some great products, what have been some of your takeaways or the best perks of being a consultant in that amount of time?
Well, the greatest perk ever is the friendships. I'm not going to lie to you. I have friends all over the nation now from being in Pampered Chef. And, we meet several times a year. We go to conference, we go to a leader retreat sometimes. And then, of course, there's the trips. And I'm not going to lie to you, the trips are what keep me going, what motivate me year after year after year. I've taken 15 trips in 16 years, and I'm working on this year's. I'm on track for this year's too. And we go to some amazing places. So if you work your business consistently and you do what you need to do, you can earn a trip. I earned mine my first full year of business.
Amazing. Yeah. So with hard work and kind of, committing to it and putting the time in and doing it your own way, absolutely can work towards those awesome incentives. So
Absolutely.
glad you've been able to do that so much. So thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you, Rachel, as well, for being the behind the scenes MVP. We appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for joining us. It's been a great month of April. We've had a lot of fun this month, and we have a lot of fun in store in May as we turn our attention to summer. So be sure to join us in May. And next week, we'll have an event with Sandy in our test kitchen, who's going to help us prepare for a memorable Mother's Day with fresh salad and cool treats and a guest appearance by Sandy's mom. Yes, you heard that right. So tune in next week for another Pampered Chef Live with us, with Sandy, with Sandy's mom. And of course, we'll have another giveaway as well. Talk to your consultant if you want to learn more about anything you heard tonight, including becoming a consultant yourself. Thanks again, friends. We will see you same time next week. Bye-bye, everybody.